Situational awareness and when should you eject from an approach. I'm going to discuss that, but before we kick it off, I'm Dave and this channel is dedicated to giving you no BS, novel dating advice for the modern man. In the description I have created a 3-part video series on what is the sweet art of cold approach, indirect game and why it's the most advanced method you could be using, and 3, my morning routine for overcoming social anxiety. That link is in the description and check it out. So, situational awareness and when should you eject. Now, I was running a boot camp for one of my students who's doing really well, by the way. He's doing really well. He's gone from little to no success to now having a rotation, and when I'm not busy we just hang out, because I like to hang out with guys that I've actually trained and they know what they're doing, and keep refining their game. And so one thing has happened recently is his situational awareness. I've been starting to become a little bit more aware of that recently, and I want to talk about that today. So he made an approach, walk and talk approach, side by side, hit the lights and she's going to turn right at the lights. Talking, it's going okay, the conversation's not too bad, turns out that they have a few things in common, and then they cross the road together, walk and talk to the other side. Now, when they were crossing the road, I noticed, observing as a third party, that she kind of gave him a few different sort of micro expressions, as if she didn't seem that keen. As soon as she's crossing the road, she saw a friend of hers from uni walking the other direction, university, and she yells out to the friend, "Hey, how you going? Where are we going? What are you doing?" Yells out to a friend. Now, that friend crossed the road, so they were on opposite ends. Then she stops on the other side of the road, and he was standing with her. Okay, the friend stops over the other side and they're waiting for the lights. Okay, time constraint. He's got a time constraint at this situation. In this scenario, it's a guy too. It's a guy from university, and he's quite big, and he's waiting for his opportunity to cross back. She's waiting there. And first thing, this is a warning sign. If you have made an approach on a girl, even if she's super friendly, just because she's agreeable and she's friendly doesn't mean that she's into it, okay? There's a lot of false signs that fool's gold that a lot of guys see out there, and they're like, oh, she was giggling, she was friendly, so she was into it. Well, no, she wasn't always into it. And you're reading the wrong signs, and that's why you are not getting the success that you probably should be getting. So when you're with a girl and she's into you, she might not be yelling out to her friends because she's into you, right? You're a random guy that she just met on the street, and it's kind of a little bit naughty to speak to you. It's a little bit naughty, it's, you know. She doesn't really want her friends seeing that she met a guy on the street and she's going to give her number to some random guy that she just met on the street, even if she's into you. Okay, so just say she's into you and she meets a friend, she's less likely to give you her number because it might come across as if she's a bit of a, I don't know, you know, she sleeps around too much, she's too easy. That's not exactly the type of reputation that women want, right? And so she's not necessarily going to call out to a friend. She's more likely to be like this, to stay with you so she can hang out with you. She sees work colleagues, she sees people from university. She's more likely to like avoid them and go, oh, that's people from work, I don't want them to see, you know, so I can hang out with you and I don't want to be interrupted because I'm hanging out with you and I want to hang out with you a little bit more. So when a girl, and this is not across the board rule, okay? You know, if she yells out to a friend, it might not necessarily mean this, but I would say in this scenario, it did mean that. And in a lot of, most most scenarios like that, if she's yelling out to her friends and she wants the friends to come over, it is because she's not into you. Okay, it's a warning sign that she wants to get away from you. She's being super friendly to you. You're not reading the signs. You don't have proper situational awareness, and you should have ejected. You're not showing enough empathy. You should have ejected. She's calling out over her friends. This often happens in the nightclubs where they call over their friends and they say they give like a signal. They give like some sort of a hand gesture, and then the friend comes in and tells you to go away. Okay, so that's if you're not reading the signs properly. And so if she's calling in her friends, there's a very good chance, there's a high probability that she's calling the friends in because she's not interested and she wants an excuse to get away from you, and you're not reading the signs. Okay, so in this scenario, he's crossed the road, he's standing with her, waiting. Her friend is across the road over here waiting to cross, and he's still standing with her. Okay, second problematic thing happened. She decides to call her friends. Big red flag. If she's calling her friends to find out where her friends are, and she wants to go meet her friends, and she's calling the friends and you're still standing there, if she would wait, she would just wait a couple minutes and talk to you, right? She wouldn't be calling her friends while looking at the friend across the road, waiting for the friend to come back, while calling another friend to find out where they're meeting. And just because she's not confident enough to tell you, look, sorry, I'm not interested, that's not really her job. A lot of girls just don't have the confidence to do that, and so you have to be reading the signs. That's what cold approach is. You need to show a lot of empathy. You need to have you have to be extremely empathetic to them, and some guys just don't read the signs. Some guys just their genetic makeup, they just can't see the signs as good as other guys. But I suggest that you try to look for these particular signs. If she's calling a friend while she's with you, good sign that she wants to go. If a friend calls, it's not really her fault. She might answer the phone, but still, maybe time to eject. In this scenario, she's on the phone to her friend. Across the road, there's a friend the light's about to go green. He's about to cross over. You should just go, see you later, right? You shouldn't just be sticking in with every single girl that shows you even the slightest bit of interest, because you're just burning it out for yourself. You're embarrassing yourself a lot of the time. So imagine this scenario: the friend crosses back. He's still waiting there. She gets off the phone. There's the girl that he approached, her friend from university, standing there. And what does he do? As soon as she gets off the phone, he goes, oh, let me get your number. She's like, oh, I'm not so sure. And he keeps pushing. He says, oh, well, let me get your number. Let's go for, we'll go do something. We talked about these other things. Let's go do that together. In front of her university friend. He just went too far. And eventually she's like, no, sorry, I want to go, and then he eventually leaves. And then her and her university friend just walk across, and they were looking at each other like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? What was that? He was so, so needy. Okay, so what I'm suggesting here is that you see the signs, and you just eject. Now, a lot of guys are going to say, well, what about sticking instead? Why don't I just stick in there and see how it plays out? Well, I would counter with, what about the abundance mindset? What about you having the ability to approach any girl you want, and giving them the opportunity to come to you means that it's a more solid interaction if she comes to you, which means that she's more likely to, she comes to you, she wants to give you her number, she's keen on the interaction, she likes you, and why don't you start looking for more positive signs? And when you get some negative signs like that, I would definitely say that these were big red flags. Yelling out to friends, calling friends, it's time to just eject. And when a friend comes over, it's a low probability play, because if you think about it, that friend from university, he's going to say, so you just met that guy on the street, you gave your number to him? Do you do that often? Are you that type of girl? Are you the type of girl that does that? You just met him on the street? It somewhat would give her a bit of a bad reputation, you see. And then we get into another aspect of this, is guys saying, how do I crack the code of mixed sets, mixed approaches during daytime? How do I crack the code? What is the magical way to do that? It can be very difficult. The mixed set approaches during day game. In nightclubs, you have to do them, but day game, it is something that is probably better avoided. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you guys. Hopefully that cleared up a few things about situational awareness. I think being aware of your surroundings, showing some empathy, and looking out for signs that, you know, she's not really that interested, and the abundance mindset, the ability to walk away is always your superpower. Even if you're not in abundance, just walking away will actually, to some extent, build it within you, and that's your superpower, being able to walk away and looking for a girl that is actually more keen on speaking to you and showing empathy, and then just ejecting. There's no, you shouldn't be ashamed of ejecting early, unless you're going direct, throwing out a compliment and deliberately sabotaging it by being really direct and looking for the rejection fast, because you have a lot of social anxiety. And if you have social anxiety, you should definitely get my 3-part video series, which is in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next video.